Welcome to Nashville, y'all!
I finally got to visit Nashville, and although it's the bachelorette capital of the US and known for the birth of country music, after spending a week here, I learned that it's so much more than that. History, hospitality, food, all genres of music, the energy here is unmatched. Here's a tour of the top things to do in Nashville, Tennessee, which includes a mix of the main attractions as well as a few hidden gems. Nicknamed the Honky Tonk Highway, in downtown Nashville you'll find Lower Broadway, home of the honky tonks and the best place for nightlife in Nashville. What's a honky tonk, you ask? A rowdy bar with a rockin' stage, cold beer, and people having a good time. This stretch of 5 blocks has over 40 bars and music venues, and they all have live music every day. And it's not just nightlife here. The music runs from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. every day. Some of these bars are even 2 or 3 stories high, with a different band or musician on each floor. This is where Music City really lives up to its name. Stroll up and down the sidewalks, listening to the music, and then stop in when you hear a band that matches your vibe. The live music is free, but tips are encouraged and appreciated. And on busy weekend nights, they usually shut down Broadway to traffic and make it pedestrian only. A lot of the Broadway bars are big and busy, so if you want something smaller, check out the side streets. We found some fun ones, like Doc Holliday's bar, which is covered in dollar bills that patrons have taped all over the walls. And it's actually the only bar left in downtown Nashville where you can smoke. So there's always something unique about some of these places. Printer's Alley is a hidden gem that a lot of tourists miss. You'll find it on Church Street between 3rd and 4th Ave. The narrow alley and all the lights and neon signs make this a magical spot. It's a little more low-key than Broadway, where you'll find a little less country music and a little more blues and jazz. The Ryman Auditorium is known as the mother church of country music and the birthplace of bluegrass, and it's where the Grand Ole Opry was born. Legends that have performed here include Elvis Presley, Patsy Cline, Hank Williams, and it's where June Carter first met Johnny Cash. While the Grand Ole Opry has since moved locations, you can still buy tickets for live concerts as well as take a tour of this historical building. And while you're there, walk down Ryman Alley, where you can literally walk in the footsteps of country music legends. Performers would use the back door of the Ryman Auditorium to sneak through the back alley to get to Tootie's Orchid Lounge for a drink after their shows. Tootsie's Orchid Lounge is arguably the most famous honky-tonk on Broadway, and you can't miss the bright purple-colored building. It's where Willie Nelson got his first songwriting job after performing here. Some of the most famous patrons who frequented here include Patsy Cline and Loretta Lynn. You definitely need to enjoy a night at the Grand Ole Opry, which is not only a concert, but a live radio show that's been running since 1925, the longest-running radio broadcast in US history. It's known as the show that made country music famous. Each Opry show features live performances by 8 or more artists that range from country music legends, up-and-coming artists, and legendary songwriters. On this night, we saw Terry Clark and John Party perform, among others. And I don't think there's a bad seat in this house. We were in the cheap seats up on the 3rd level, and the views and sounds were fantastic. You can also tour the building, learn about the history, and go backstage if you want to get the full experience or didn't manage to get concert tickets. If you're a fan of the Man in Black, the Johnny Cash Museum is a must-see in Nashville. It's small, but packed with history and all kinds of items from his personal and professional life. Guitars, handwritten lyrics and letters, outfits, awards, and more. For an exceptional breakfast or lunch before or after your visit, try out Sun Diner, which is right next door. It pays homage to Sun Records' legendary artists, including Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash. And I may have ordered the creme brulee French toast more than once. It was cinnamon bread dunked in a rum chata batter with whipped cream and berries. Whew, so good. The Country Music Hall of Fame takes you through the origin of country music and bluegrass, all the way to current country rock stars. This museum is massive and provides an in-depth look at the most celebrated genre of music here in Nashville. One of my favorite parts was seeing Elvis Presley's gold Cadillac limousine painted in diamond dust pearl, which was made of crushed diamonds and fish scales. After exploring the exhibits, you can also take the historic RCA Studio B tour, which is the famous recording studio which gave birth to the Nashville sound. Many famous artists recorded here, including Elvis Presley, Roy Orbison, Dolly Parton, and many other legends. One thing I really enjoyed was taking the Old Town Trolley tour to some of Nashville's biggest attractions. It's a hop-on, hop-off style sightseeing tour full of all kinds of fun facts and history from your driver who narrates the whole way. I recommend this for first-time visitors and early on in your trip so you get a lay of the land. There's 13 stops so you can see many different parts of the city, and you can ride as many times as you want all day. We chose to get off at a few different spots, like Marathon Motorworks, a former auto factory now turned into a museum mixed with shops, galleries, studios, restaurants, a winery, and a distillery. If you love shopping for souvenirs, this is a really great stop. You'll also pass by other popular attractions like the Parthenon, which is a full-scale replica of the one in Greece. Among other stops include Music Row, home to famous recording studios. The Bluebird Cafe is one of the most iconic spots for live music in Nashville. You might recognize it from the famous show of the same name. Established in the early 1980s, this small venue features up-and-coming and hit songwriters in an intimate setting. The vibe here is a listening room, where the songs and the stories are the stars of the show. It was here that I really came to appreciate how respected and tight-knit the songwriting community is here in Nashville. You might recognize some country stars that were discovered here, including Taylor Swift, Keith Urban, and Garth Brooks. It's located in a strip mall about 20 minutes from downtown, but it was a phenomenal experience. And tickets go on sale at 8 a.m. 1 week in advance, and they sell out in literally 10 seconds, so you gotta be quick. Now, a lot of locals will tell you the way they can spot tourists is by anyone wearing cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. Because of this, I was almost not gonna bring my boots, but I'm so glad I did. I ended up wearing them every single day, because I was a tourist, and so was everyone else who were rocking their boots, and there's no shame in that. So one of my favorite things to do was go boot shopping and check out all the different outrageous designs and price tags among the fresh leather smell. There's lots of good shops on Broadway, but we found a good one called Planet Cowboy in the 12 South neighborhood. More on that later. Alright, if you've been walking around Nashville in your brand new cowboy boots for a couple of days, your feet are probably going to be a little bit sore, so you should definitely come to AA Foot Massage. We just came here for their famous 30-minute foot massage. It was incredible, y'all. I'm saying y'all now, by the way. And it was so good that we didn't want to leave. We decided to get another 45-minute back massage. It was so good, and it's pretty cheap. It's a little bit outside the touristy areas, about a 15-20 minute drive from downtown, but it is definitely worth it. East Nashville is across the Cumberland River and offers a really different vibe from the honky-tonk country music atmosphere in downtown Nashville. One of my favorite ways to tour this neighborhood was by going on the Brew Hop Brewery Trolley Tour. It's a hop-on, hop-off style trolley bus that takes you to 7 different breweries. In between your craft beers, you can also do some boutique and vintage shopping, as well as visit many great murals in this neighborhood. Nashville's art scene was one of the biggest surprises about visiting this city. I knew it had a few famous murals, but I didn't realize you can find them on almost every corner, it seems. If you're looking for a fun and free activity in Nashville, plan a day or an afternoon with your camera and go mural hopping. If you don't have a car, there's some fun guided mural tours that you can join. While some of Nashville's locals will tell you to visit Prince's Hot Chicken, others will tell you to visit Hattie B's. Either way, you must try Nashville's most famous food while you're here, hot chicken. We tried Hattie B's, where they've got different heat levels ranging from mild all the way to shut the cluck up. I went for the classic bone-in, which is the most traditional way to get hot chicken, and went for medium heat, so it had a bit of a kick, but not over the top. It comes with 2 sides, and you've got a lot of options to choose from. Of course, you gotta get the sweet tea as well. And my hands were way too greasy to take video once I bit into this chicken, so this is all you get. For a unique place to have some drinks and small bites, especially if you're on a girls' trip, visit White Limozeen. This is Dolly Parton's bar. Everything is pretty in pink. In the summer, there's also a rooftop patio open with a pool. You can find it at the top of the Graduate Hotel in Midtown, which is about 10 minutes west of downtown. Definitely make reservations in advance. The Belle Meade plantation dates back to the 1850s, but was no ordinary plantation. Here they bred thoroughbred racehorses, where some famous bloodlines originated from, including Seabiscuit. There are a few different tours on site. We chose to tour the mansion, which doesn't allow photos or video inside, but I can assure you that the history of the family that lived here over the years was very fascinating. Once the tour is done, you're not quite finished. It's time to visit the Belle Meade Winery on site, and all tours come with a free wine tasting. We tried 4 wines, most of which were on the sweeter side, but well balanced. The most interesting being the red muscadine, which was a very polarizing wine among our group. Afterwards, if you're so inclined, you can purchase a glass of wine and stroll through the gorgeous grounds. Nashville is full of unique and pleasant neighborhoods beyond the energetic downtown. The 12 South neighborhood was one of my favorite areas to visit, and it's home to locally owned shops and restaurants, vintage stores, and of course, more murals. Closer to downtown is a higher-end neighborhood called the Gulch. It's got boutique shops, famous murals, and great eateries. You'll find Biscuit Love here, which is a really famous breakfast spot, and also Milk and Honey, which was our go-to breakfast place more than once. But it's really popular. Sometimes there was a 2 or 2.5 hour wait. We got lucky and got first come, first served seating at the bar, and oh my goodness, their brunch and breakfast dishes with biscuits. Anything with biscuits. So good. You gotta try it. The Frist Art Museum is home to some of the most prestigious art exhibits in the country, and the rotating exhibits are exceptional. But not only that, the building itself is historically significant. Built in 1934, this building was originally Nashville's main post office. For even more things to do in Nashville, visit my blog post, which has more than 20 other activities beyond what I mentioned in this video. There's so many fun tours you can take, like a mimosa and murals tour, and I've got all those fun ideas listed in my blog post. Stay tuned to my channel, as I will definitely be visiting Nashville again soon and filming part 2 to see the places I couldn't get to on this trip, like the Opryland Hotel and the Jack Daniel's Distillery. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see included in that video. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching!